Welcome to our executive interview series at FedTalks, presented by FedScoop. I'm Wyatt Cash, and we're here with Jason Payne, Chief Technology Officer for Federal at Microsoft. Jason, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I'd like to start by asking, what would you say has been the government's biggest achievements over the past year in terms of IT modernization?
Yeah, for sure. So I think the immediate word that comes to me for IT modernization and achievements would be cybersecurity, and really specifically the combination of the progress the government has made in zero trust and modernization. You know, we really think a lot of this started back in May of 2021 with the executive order on improving the nation's cybersecurity. We then saw M2209 come out. They really set some hard deadlines at the end of government fiscal 24 for zero trust progress. I think that really drove a lot of collaboration within government agencies and with industry as well to determine what the roadmap would look like for agencies to move on their zero trust journey. A lot of that was formalized in a zero trust maturity model that was published by CISA that is proudly at version 2.0 right now, that really shows agencies how they can get from a traditional sort of cybersecurity mindset through an initial zero trust implementation all the way to some optimal outcomes. And I'm proud to say now that in the past year, we've seen agencies adopt that maturity model, follow the best practices that are in that document, and really see some outcomes that have been fantastic. And a couple of ones that really come to mind for me are first, implementation of virtual desktop infrastructure. That's been a great place for agencies to modernize the way that they access applications securely. We've seen a lot of work around hybrid and remote work, particularly in bring your own devices and being able to use remote device management and endpoint management to access applications remotely and then through sort of field and knowledge worker scenarios. And then finally, conditional-based access to applications, both those that have been legacy as well as applications that have been modernized. And so using the pillars of zero trust to be able to access those applications with attributes around network, data, device, et cetera. All of that to say is I think the lessons learned in this have been a lot of collaboration, a lot of sharing, and these principles of applying zero trust, the pillars of it, combined with modernizing applications, has been able to move agencies forward the most, which I think is the defense that they need in face of the cyber threats that we see today.
That's a great point. And then next, I'd like to ask, where are you starting to see the use of AI make a material difference in improving the efforts or ability of federal employees to meet their mission and the efforts they've made, particularly over the past year?
Yeah, for sure. So when I hear AI, it's hard not to immediately go to generative AI at this point, right? It's all the rage, and it's been the conversation for nearly the past year. Whether you think about large language models or foundation models. And I think the biggest impact really with that to government has been it's opened the mindset about what AI can do for agencies and for their missions. Traditionally, in my work, I typically see AI being focused on a chief data officer and that office and field within agencies and divisions there. Think about hard problems. Do I have the right data? Is the data in the right format that I need it to be? You go through some serious engineering, select the right model, build and train the model, deploy it, and then rinse and repeat until you get to the outcome you want. Where we're seeing now with generative AI is that language is the interface for the model, and the ingenuity around how to apply it and the ease of which it can be applied has just been fantastic. And so we've seen this broadening of awareness and this broadening of application within agencies beyond where we traditionally saw traditional or conventional AI being implemented before. A couple of great use cases that we've seen immediately out of the box in the past year have been really the first one will be around natural language processing. Anytime agencies have to work with a large amount of data that is language-based is a great place to apply AI technologies. And a common one we see here is rulemaking. We need to understand citizen sentiment, as well as public perception of a rulemaking process. It's been great for agencies to apply and be able to accelerate that understanding. Second area that we see nearly every agency look at when it comes to AI is advanced knowledge management or knowledge search. There's a pattern here that we see called retrieval augmented generation, which is effectively using a large corpus of data, retrieving a subset of information from that corpus of data based on a user query, again in natural language, and then applying the large language models to the subset of those results to derive an answer, again back in natural language. So being able to work with a large corpus of knowledge, ask it a question, get a direct answer, and citations for that answer has been absolutely critical. Then I think the last way that we've really seen an impact with AI is in the field of co-pilots, right? And so at Microsoft, we're developing a series of co-pilot capabilities with the products that we currently field in market, whether it's Microsoft 365 or it's the security suite. But I think more broadly than that, we're seeing government build its own co-pilots to really assist with mundane and repeatable tasks that can be executed, or frankly, where we need areas of improved efficiency. And one of the universal places we're seeing this being applied today would be in the areas of acquisition. So we heard a little bit today about the challenges that we face in acquisition, and certainly applying generative AI to that to help with contract writing processes is a universal benefit that we're seeing multiple customers implement with AI.
Those are some great examples. Thank you. And thank you so much, Jason Payne, for joining us and just sharing some of your insights of what you're seeing in the AI front here.
For sure. Thanks for having me.